Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Does the sound and everything sound normal, by the way? Because I really tried to put everything back to normal since the last stream. But you never know if you got everything. So, um, yeah, I think I did. But just let me know if there's anything which sounds funky. All right. Actually, note too. This is better. Maybe actually a bit more. I think this might be better. The light quality. Easier for the camera, I think, hopefully. Well, we'll see. And your first grumpy. Your second Judith, let's go. I'm so glad you guys are here. I sound crispy. Is that, but like crispy in a good way or in a bad way? Because you can also, sound crispy in a bad way. I think this better. Just a bit lighter. How do I think I need to flip it horizontal. Yes. Okay, wait, actually, then the camera was right. Ah! Then it was like this. Yeah. Okay. Now we got it. Can you whistle? Oh, really, really bad, actually. um, no, not really. Like this very cool whistle. People do with like two. Yeah, like this. It's like I can't. Like my mom can very loudly, but I definitely can't. And the normal whistling is like really bad. Yes or no? Okay, coming in with the attitude. I already said no, so you would have had your answer. No, I understand. No, we're definitely gonna do the stream mode for sure. It also feels odd to me. We're back to the natural habitat. For sure, for sure. So yeah, I technically still have some food, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, I don't feel like eating much from it, but yeah, so first thing is, I think I forgot to drink something, and I don't have water here, so I was sort of like about to like get some water for myself because I noticed. But at the same time, I like on Monday I canceled the stream because I felt sick, right? And I definitely had like a throat pain and everything. So, you know, it's just a thing where it might be both. It's probably both. But I'm feeling all right already. So, I know, like I don't think I'm gonna get like any like sort of backlash from like streaming today. Like yesterday I also felt fine, so I think I'm good. Like I feel like taking the day off on Monday was like really wise, and with that I sort of dodged the like getting actually sick. Yeah. There was the theory I think 100 years ago that homosexuals can't whistle. I can. I mean, that would honestly like if something like that would be true, it would absolutely be ridiculous as fuck. It would be so funny. I'm gonna get myself some water, so see you in a second, guys. Got myself some water. Hi guys. Hi Nitro, how are you doing? And welcome, welcome. And hi Ali. How you doing? I just noticed I forgot to put my earrings in. I just left them in the kitchen on the kitchen counter. Like the last 5 minutes before stream, I'm always like trying to get everything perfect, and then just some things being missing. Wait, where's my ear? Yeah, perfect. And hi Unicorn Therapy. Oh, that's a really cute name. Where does it come from? And good morning, good morning. Hi Tessa Maid. Welcome, welcome, holla. Welcome to the stream, guys. So how are you doing? How was your day? How was your week? How have you been doing since last week, guys? Oh, it was Monday last week was our last mental health stream. So is like, how was the last week? Or well, more like 1.5 weeks. May I enter the chat? You shall. You shall pass, it's fine. Although means more in Dutch, I was great about it. Yeah. I love how they're just like I mean, since you thought you probably also know the like the, wait, how you say that in English? Fries? Like the fries sauce? Like friet sauce? Oorlog? Yeah, I don't know. I love your earrings. I want more hanging ones, but since I stretch my lobes in my teens, one is hanging lower than the other. Oh, that's annoying. I mean, so I finally bought some earring stuff. Like I got some earring stuff as a gift for my birthday, and then I was motivated to buy some earring stuff as well. So I might actually be able to just literally offer you making like 2 different like earring lengths. You know what I mean? So that like one of them is just a tiny bit, like a teeny tiny bit shorter, so they look even. If that like, does that help or does it still look weird? Because yeah. So like, do people actually see your like earlobes looking like off center, or is it just the length of the earring? At the same time though, I feel like different length from earring is like something you don't really notice as an like from the outside perspective, right? I think that's probably one of those things where like you notice it yourself, but nobody ever will. Yeah. I mean, but like, are you a therapist, unicorn therapy? Or are you a unicorn? You know, like, that's the interesting part here, right? Like, from which side of the of therapy are you coming to the topic? Oh my god, Grumpy. I mean, to be fair, the like throat medication I use, well, it's not official medication, but it's just like a herbal alcohol tincture. So even though, like, you know, but yeah, it's just as bad. I guess most people don't look that closely at ears. Yeah. And at the same time, even if you do, why would you care? You know what I mean? Oh my god. That'll hang. I see. So essentially, okay. I mean, honestly, you could also just go with a totally different direction and be like, I'm gonna wear different earrings. every time. Yep. You know, like, don't even try. You could just, like, accept your ears are now unique and they just feel like different earrings, you know? Like, I think that could be, like, could look really cool. Did you finish eating your birthday cake? No, we still have some. It was a tiny bit a lot cake. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, there were like two people like the day before said they wouldn't come, and then like three people on the day of the birthday that they wouldn't come. So we were a bit less people than expected, and it was also more cake than expected. Because a friend of mine actually also brought something like self-made. Like it was not cake, but it was like vegetarian cheese, green stuff, roly thing. I don't know. I didn't eat them. Yeah. A tincture like Jägermeister? I mean, well, I wouldn't hope so. Like, it's actually like it's supposed to be medicine. Like, it's not supposed to be like just alcohol. Like, you don't drink it. Or like, I don't think you can. Like, I don't know if you can, but it says nowhere that you can, so I wouldn't. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. So you're coming from the therapist side. That's really interesting. I love that. I think it's so cool actually, this like just unicorn therapy. Like you could make such good logos with that and stuff. Like it just honestly reminds me of my first ever stream logo. I had like so it wasn't like an actual like it wasn't a normal unicorn, but it was a unicorn shark, like a rainbow unicorn shark. Um and I was sort of like yeah, I don't it was like I was over 18 at this point, okay? I just have to point that out. Let me see if I can find it. Hmm. Let me see if I can find it on a PC. Mm. Can I just... Do you guys see this? This was my old, like, OG sort of logo. I still love it. I don't know. Hi, Talon. Welcome, welcome. How you doing? Mm. I see, Ellie, I see. Ah, I see it actually. It looks really cute. It's really wholesome. Like, I love the glasses. I'm about to play a horror game with the lights out and headphones in. All right, Talon. So I hope you're gonna enjoy that. Like, it would be a, well, it would be a horror for me, like you would expect from a horror game. I really like. I can't relate to people actually enjoying that and doing that for fun at all. It's like, you know, like you do you, but I just can't relate. I don't see a way how that would be fun. This is like so far away from me. Like, I can only imagine it being fun with like with friends or something. Like, I think that is really cool. But yeah, I usually also don't at all drink alcohol. I think it's so cool that there's so many people in chat who don't drink alcohol. I think like like in Germany the alcohol culture is actually pretty big. Like I don't know if you knew, but like German beer culture is really big. And with that German alcohol culture like as a whole is pretty big. And there's been like in the last years, really, like with sort of like with my generation and the one after it, there's been such a big change actually in like how many people drink alcohol and how alcohol is viewed. That it's like really shifting. And I think that's really amazing to see actually. Really interesting to see. Like because it's so linked to like to German culture. Because some of our like just cultural festivities are essentially evolving around beer and alcohol. But yeah, it's slowly changing, and that's really cool. Just because like a few generations were like, nah, I'm not gonna, no. September 7th. That's just the name of the game. Amazing. Yeah, yeah. This is exactly it. Like so many of the alcohol like choices you have is a thing where like you will hate it as a kid just because the way your taste buds are different to the ones of an adult. But at the same time, I feel like at some point you still, I guess, need to train it in a sense. Like it's gonna get better with age because of the way your taste buds change, right? But I feel like I don't know, like I'm like 26 now, right? And it still hasn't changed to the point where I actually like would like just like that, like wine or beer. So I don't know. Like I don't know if that's still gonna happen. And I just need like 10 more years and then like just naturally I will like the taste of it or something. But yeah, it's so different how people taste things. And it's really odd to me how there were like people like with 16 drinking beer and being like, oh, I like it so much. And I just smell it and I'm like, ooh. Like this is so like bitter and nah. Like a really nice cocktail for sure. Like I'm in, but I don't know. Like it has to be sweet for me as well. I think the shift in rural areas will take well longer. I don't drink either, and it's an oddity even in cities sometimes. Yeah, I mean, it definitely depends on where you are, right? So I think to me, it's like so much easier to notice because the like where I notice it is, for example, when like my old class is meeting up, right? And then it's like, yeah, there's like some older people because it's from the alumni or whatever thing of my school, but it's still like mostly my age. So like there I can like instantly see the change, right? It's not like I have to deal with the like the older generation sort of softening up the change numbers. But I think it's like really cool just in my generation how it's changing. So I guess I should have clarified that, yeah. It's definitely not so much the older generation. I don't actually know. I don't have much contact to the older generation, so I couldn't tell. But just the generation I have contact with, I noticed like in the last couple of years a big shift. Like I know that back when we were in school with sort of like 16 to 18, like drinking beer was seen as like really cool and sort of like a group activity and stuff like this. And now we had on this like meetup with like all the old classmates and stuff. There were so many people just saying like, no, I don't drink alcohol. And that's really what I noticed because I was like one of the only people drinking like less alcohol back then, or at least that's how I felt like. Um, and now it's like even like some of the cool kids don't drink alcohol anymore. So I'm like, ah, okay, something is actually changing, you know? A very small cutesy person would drink the darkest beer, not even cold. Oh, damn. My, like, Zach actually likes darker beer more than normal beer. Because apparently it has, like, more taste to it than just beer taste, if that makes sense. And thank you so much for the follow and welcome to the stream. Peanut butter ale. I never heard of that. Sounds interesting. With coffee for me, iced coffee with more cream and sugar than coffee, then it's okay. Yeah, to me, actually, I today have the last bit of my like protein coffee to drink, and then I'm free of it. I'm free of that, and then I have to drink like more disgusting protein shakes. So it's a win-win situation. But yeah. So should we come back to the question I was like sort of asking before a little bit? How was your like last week in terms of mental health? Party people. Like, are you doing well? You know? And hi. Ooh, okay. Hi, Tabby's welcome to the stream. How are you doing? And welcome S7. How are you doing? Hi, Mirandex. Okay. And then? Wild. Honestly, Ali, that's kind of an achievement. Like, I don't know if it's like good or better or whatever, you know? But it's definitely rare, I think. And hi, Dragon. Welcome, welcome. How you doing? Oh, true. I wanted to drink something the entire time. I got myself water and then I just didn't drink something. And then I decided to stumble on a stream while I eat lunch to pump even more. I see. I actually also really feel like leak in the last couple days. I don't know. I already texted a friend before saying like, you know, like after stream maybe leak. So do you have like any specific goal or anything at 7, or do you just feel like playing League? Yeah. Like there was a car driving by, and I think it must have been some type of like military vehicle. It was so much louder than every other car, and it had like it looked really odd. My mental health is doing okay. I've had adequate rest as of late and been resorting to using antietics to monitor my cognitive state. Sorry, I'm not like English is not really my like first language. What is like an emphatics? What does that mean? Because I just know like anesthetics, and then like that's not it. Or like I don't think that's it because I wouldn't really know how to monitor a cognitive state with those, but last week was okay, but I can't stand people in public places at the moment. Hmm. When you say at the moment, did something change? Like, or like, why did it change? Do you understand why? Same as always, Drago. See, I see. For me, mm, start of the week was tough. Like, I had like, so all of the guests were leaving. We had to like clean up the apartment again and everything. And I felt like a bit sick, right? Because I was like talking so much to people, my throat really hurt. And then I also got my period, so I was really like, I like all the things came together to like take me out. So on Monday, I just felt like I'm dead. But it was really fun. Like I just, you know, I took the day off. I really rested. I was sitting on the couch watching some K drama. and like reading a book and then playing a game of League, then going on the couch again. Just, like really following what, yeah, just what I feel like doing in the moment, just to, I guess, like maintain rest for my body, but at the same time not have to be like too aware of my pain and just have something to do. Um, and Zach was babying me a little bit, going to like the Albert Heijn for me and like buying me like new fruits and stuff like this. um, and then on Tuesday, I already felt much better, but still a bit shit. But what did I do on Tuesday? I don't even know. I think I did. Did I do yoga on Tuesday? No, no. Oh yeah, I was actually organizing so many things on Monday. I just remembered. I was organizing like presents, information on a friend to make her like a really good present, and then a present for another friend having his birthday this week. Like there's so many birthdays this week. Um and yesterday we had some friends over. So I don't know. So I noticed how I was like feeling a bit in the dumps, and I was like, okay, like when I have my stream on Thursday, like I need to be like good again, right? Because like this is sort of like, I don't know, like with the streams here, like the thing I really want to maintain and I take special action to maintain is that I feel mentally like good on the stream, like when I'm streaming. And also not just sort of like fine, but actually like really stable again, really myself and everything like this, so that I can like handle whatever is being thrown at me, right? And that I can like be the person like reliably who I want to be on stream. Um, and can't be like thrown out of the um yeah, that's a German saying. Wait, does that exist in English? I don't know. Out of the track, is that a thing? Like that you're thrown off track? I think that's a thing. Uh, we're just gonna make it a thing so that I won't be thrown off track by whatever might happen. So I made my plan like yesterday that I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna go for a walk in nature. Like that, I'm gonna like when a friend hit me up to like meet, I was like, yes, for sure. Like that sounds amazing, actually. And then today I finished a book. By the way, I finished the last book I was reading. The like breaking negative thinking patterns schema therapy book. Um, so I sort of like checked all boxes on my needs being met, and I'm actually really proud of that because it just worked. Like I actually like today I feel like really good. Um, so that was really like that's really nice. Um, and there was one more thing I wanted to say, but I forgot. Let me come back to it later. Goal as in life term or for the day? Well, I was more practical in that moment in terms of like, do you have a goal in League specifically? Because you really feel like League, like, is there a sort of special incentive you have towards playing League? Like with a goal in mind or not? But if you want to answer what your life goal is, go ahead. Like, I love deep questions. It's like usually people are more like overwhelmed by them. But like, if you have an answer to that or want to answer that, like, for sure, I would love that. And Mirandex, thank you so much for the 5 stream streak. Studying for exam season and listening about mental health is the best combo, right? For sure. Like you want to do something like really intellectually exhausting and then subsidize it with intellectually exhausting stream content. Sounds like a great idea. Empathics is a therapy technique. It focuses on your inner critic and the dialogue you have with it. I use it to have a conversation with my inner critic. Ah, that's really interesting. I need to look like, do you mind describing how the technique works? Like, would you have like time for that? Because the book I was reading today about like schema therapy, it also like talks about how yeah, how you should like, I guess, like, I mean, you probably know schema therapy, but like for everybody who doesn't, schema therapy is sort of based on a model
A
where
few
you
moments
have.
later.
Wow, Esther. um, but where you have like different models for the different sort of like emotional states you're in. So you have, for example, the vulnerable child mode. This is more when you like feel sad and well, everything around vulnerable. And then you have the impulsive or angry child mode, which is, yeah, well, more like anger, rage, but also like impulsivity and sort of like being spoiled, entitled, stuff like this. Um, and then you have the happy child mode, which is just, yeah, just like this happy kid, like you have fun, joy, bliss. You're like without any like sorrows and stuff like this. Then you have the healthy adult mode, which technically should be your regular mode, because it's still like you get stuff done, you have like you can make goals, which makes sense, and you're able to fulfill those goals actually and go after them. You're able to like handle whatever is being thrown at you in a way where you don't um yeah, don't go into the vulnerable child mode or angry child mode. Um, and you just feel like content with yourself, I guess. And then there's the parent modes, which can be like sort of different parent modes. But yeah, it's just dysfunctional parent mode. So it can be punitive, guilt inducing, and the other one was, I don't remember. There's a third one. Demanding, yeah. And the demanding parent mode. Which are like, yeah, which are critics usually. Like the punitive parent mode has more of these messages of like you're shit, you don't deserve this, you don't deserve that, like you shouldn't feel this or that, you shouldn't do this or that, like just like essentially like punishing yourself. Demanding parent mode is like you don't do enough, like you need to be the best and you need to care for everybody else, and like it's just so demanding, like you can't really like you can't handle those demands, like they're always over the top. And then the third one, the guilt inducing one, is like um essentially like how you dare to have needs, like you need to fulfill everybody else's needs, but like you shouldn't have needs. And like that, like whenever sort of a mistake is happening, for example, it would be like this was your mistake and like how dare you whatever do this that. It's like it's guilt, like the main theme is guilt. um and like yeah, I told you about this book, right? And I was still like, honestly, like I can't recommend it enough, it's so cool. And I think it's so nicely explained. It's such a nice book, and it's a small book. It's like, like to properly understand it, you don't even need to read like 1,000 pages. You just need to read like, I think like 170 or something. Is it? And then you're like through with the book, and there's like all this like very practical advice. And I don't know, I think it's like so cool. And I really like schema therapy, right? Because I really like how, or I had like really great personal experience with it. Um, and yeah, but long story short, it would interest me to see what like the therapy technique emphatic is, because of how this conversation with the inner critic or like with these parent modes were described in this book I was reading, and how that sort of uh, aligns with that view, I guess, or how it might be different. Yeah. I'm doing okay, but I've been off for work almost for 2 weeks because I've been feeling like I'm going to get burned out. I've been taking my rest and catched up with things at home. I see, Ali. Do you have any idea what sort of led to this stage? Or like what can you change in the future so that it doesn't come to this anymore? Like have you took some time to reflect on that already? I'm not sure what changes. Maybe I'm a little raw and sensitive. People bothering for no reason happen sometimes. Hmm. I mean, sometimes like we talked about in stream already a couple times, right? How different things can like change your emotional space. Not emotional space, but your emotional state, or influence it. So have you thought about any of these things on that list? So like physical exhaustion, sort of things like social media, like addiction behavior, hormones, sleep quality, food nutrition quality, sun, nature, social circle, exercise, like all of those things. Because sometimes there's like a very good connection to some of our needs not being met, and that's why we don't have enough capacity anymore, or not the same capacity as usually. Just back from the recovery room, feeling super numb. See you, Asta. So, how has it been going the last week? Um, Thank you, Drago. I'm really proud of myself, actually. Yeah. I think it's, and that's also a thing, like, I really wasn't able to, like, proud, like, being proud was a really tough feeling for me, if that makes sense. Because I was always, like, I definitely had this, like, very demanding parent, mode where it's just, like, my expectations were, like, always so high, and when I achieved anything, I would be like, oh yeah, but like whatever, like it wasn't that hard because I achieved it. So I would essentially like not give myself credit for this. But I'm really glad that changed because I honestly feel stoked. Like I'm really like I'm also like a bit sort of like I don't want to make it sound like too good, right? Because like yeah, I don't want to make you guys jealous or anything. Or like hold in your face that I'm like doing so good, right? But um I'm really glad that I'm able to like see this and note it as a win for myself. And it's also a really important part, right? Because like if you never give yourself credit for something you did, which was hard to do, then you just take away some of the incentive to do the right thing, right? Because after all, we're all like little puppies, like running after the treats, right? And we just need to, like, you know, like it's gonna be easier to treat a puppy if you have treats than if you don't have treats. Metatherapy, a therapy technique derived of multiple, and it uses those techniques to focus on radical self-acceptance. So basically, it encourages self-esteem and self-love. I mean, that's always really good, right? Before I turn 30, I want to love myself and be able to stand up for myself on a daily basis and not settle for bad habits and bad relationships out of fear of doing something new. I think that's actually a really nice, like I'm sort of like contemplating if it is a really nice goal or not, because it starts with I want to love myself, which is quite ambiguous, but then you get more specific with like I want to stand up for myself, I don't want to settle for bad habits or bad relationships, and that's quite specific. So I really love the second part of this goal being essentially like a measurement for the first part of loving yourself, and that's why you wouldn't settle for like specific situation. Because I think it can sometimes be like really hard to actually give yourself credit because you don't know for what you would need to give yourself credit, right? Because you made your goals in such an ambiguous manner that you actually don't really know if you fulfilled it or not, or that like sort of changing the goalposts is like super easy because your goal is like, I don't know, be the smartest person on earth, and then you will never fulfill it, right? Because there's always new knowledge. Um, so I think having a goal like this, where you have like very specific points you can actually reflect on and can in your book note like this was a win, is really, really nice. And thank you for the follow, Unicorn Therapy. I'm glad you like it here. From what you're saying, I guess I have only negative modes. Well, essentially, the idea behind schema therapy is that everybody has a happy child mode, everybody has a healthy adult mode, and then people usually have a vulnerable child mode and the angry child mode. And with the parent modes, they don't technically need to be there, as far as I understood it. And with the vulnerable and the angry child modes, they're like, so with the parent modes, you're essentially trying to like get them away. Like you're trying to actually work towards not having them anymore. With the vulnerable child mode and the angry child mode, you're working towards balancing them and just being able to engage with them in a manner where they don't hold you back from the goals you have in your life. So, for example, because the vulnerable child mode, like if you only like work in that mode, you will probably have like a a lot of coping mechanisms, because if you're always like sort of scared and stuff, you for example have like avoidant coping, and you might decide that you like rather don't speak to any new people because you're scared they will reject you, but that also keeps you from making new friends, right? So essentially, like, everybody has a vulnerable child mode and an angry child mode, but the idea is that you want to be able to do the things you want to do in your life, even though you have these and they shouldn't be in your way. And you can sort of like, you can train, or like the book sort of describes how you can train on fostering the happy child mode and the healthy adult mode. And it's definitely a thing which takes time and which takes effort. Um, but yeah, it's definitely like, it's absolutely doable. Like, you can for sure do it. And I also, like, if I sort of reflect back on my I guess like therapy experience, and put it in this like schema therapy mindset with these child modes, I think back then I was definitely working mostly actually in the vulnerable child mode and the angry impulsive child mode. So it would always switch. So I would be in the vulnerable child mode, like really, really anxious. And if things went down, I would sort of essentially, like, through overcompensation, switch to the angry child mode. But yeah, like the happy child mode was really, really difficult. Like, honestly, just not having concerns and just enjoying something would be really hard. And the healthy adult mode would also be really hard. And I also definitely for sure it have like the demanding parent mode, the guilt-inducing parent mode, and the punitive parent mode. But mostly the demanding and the guilt-inducing parent mode. So it's not something which changes overnight, right? But it's something you for sure can change. But it's definitely normal to like see yourself in this at some point, right? And hi, Raka. Welcome, welcome. And thank you so much. Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you doing, Raka? It mostly borrows from the empty chair technique in Gestalt therapy, where you imagine who you want to talk to. In this case, you're imagining your inner critic. The voice in you that says such things as you can't do it or shouldn't do it. Most of the dialogue consists of silencing the inner critic or telling it is wrong. This actually, like, they have sort of like in the schema therapy book I was reading, they have sort of an exercise on that, where you build where you build the confidence to, exactly like you say, essentially silence that inner critic and like just shut it up essentially, and protect yourself from that inner critic. And the inner critic in that moment are these parent modes, right? It's the demanding, punitive, or guilt-inducing parent mode. And there's also, like, it's very important to see that, like, a lot of this is about balance, right? So, for example, the demanding parent mode, it's like you can demand stuff of yourself without being in the demanding parent mode. Like, it can be a request which is reasonable, like a reasonable goal, and then it's your healthy adult mode. It's only the demanding parent mode once it goes like off board, right? And essentially how you train that is you go back into a memory of but they do say, and I do want to point that out as well, sort of interacting with these parent modes can affect you a lot emotionally. So they do say to, like, at the beginning, not go into this with like an imaginary part, but really just being like sort of like rationally thinking about this, and then even maybe getting help from friends and stuff like this to do that the first time. Or, you know, like, try it softly and stop if it gets too much. But the idea is essentially that they how was it specifically? So you feel back into a situation where you felt those like parent modes coming up, and you sort of think about how the requests of these parent modes, or like what the parent modes are saying, are like out of bound. And then essentially in that moment, like talk to the parent mode, or argue with the parent mode, but not really argue in terms of like you discuss like back and forth the entire time, but more of like just being like, what do you say is wrong, and what I do want to sort of say is this and this and that. And essentially like shutting it up with that. Oh, you also have a free stream streak. Let's go, Maka. Surgery was a success, so you just feel weird due to the anesthesia. Ah, I see, Asta. How long until you're gonna feel like normal again? Like, did they say anything? Because anesthesia can affect you quite a bit. Thank you, Dragu. And hi, Agent Milan. Welcome, welcome. How you doing? Physically, I'm better than usual. Daylight is getting longer. I have long stretches of flow. Many things are doing good right now. What? I imagine many of these issues that are dragging for years are families fighting about inheritance, topic trauma therapy are cutting deep. Build up pressure, I guess. I say. I mean, that can definitely be a thing, right? Like, if you have trauma therapy and there's like the sessions are like, well, on one side good, right? But on the other side, they can be really exhausting. So maybe there's something you can do for yourself to get some more rest and, you know, help yourself regain the energy to be able to handle all of these things. Or honestly, just have compassion with yourself. Why the last days are harder. The acronym SMART. Oh, tell me about it. Let's go. Iron makes me think of transaction analysis. Yeah, it's the schema therapy is really definitely a thing where it's entirely built around this idea that like how that we take a lot from our childhood with us into the adult life, right? And that, for example, these parent modes are usually like we pick them up from people around us. They don't need to be our parents, but they could be a teacher or a boss or classmates even, or friends, uncles, like other family members, something like this. And the child modes are essentially just like when our needs haven't been fulfilled in a specific way, then we might have like some child modes more than others. Or when we haven't learned to deal with specific child modes because nobody showed us, then we would have some child modes more than others. And then, yeah, the healthy adult mode is essentially like us trying to make sense of everything, I guess, or like us managing life and bringing everything together or trying to. And then, well, then of course we have like all the coping modes, right? That's also really interesting. I'm glad you give yourself time to come back to normal, Talon. You need to stay in the hospital. Dragu, do you have like from what I remember, I think you probably don't, but I just want to clarify. Did you have any like mental health professional, like any doctor, like a psychotherapist or something like this, tell you that it's like that it can't get better? Like that it's not fixable? And hi Gray, welcome to the stream. How you doing? I should probably, by the way, call you Dre. Like, what am I doing? So, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. You can be like completely honest, Regu, by the way. Like, you don't, you know, like, if not particularly, it is fixable, but not in the environment. Not if it. I see. I mean, is there anything about the environment you can change? Hmm. Because the thing I sort of, I guess, I I feel like, you know, it might just be that I'm really optimistic about things. But you know the way you talk so like self-aware about those issues, Drago. Just feel like there's, I don't know, like there's something which can be done. And I don't want to say this with like creating pressure, but I just mean it in a way of like the people who essentially like where like even in therapy like you can't really do much. It's like people who don't see how they should even change or like how it's even affecting their life, like they're unaware, you know. um but once you're aware, there's usually like there might not be like this direct way of um doing something, right? And there might not be an instant way of changing something, but there's usually something you can do for yourself to either make it better or to set yourself up for the future or to just make your peace with a shitty situation a bit better or to like slowly work towards getting out of something or putting yourself in a like better place, right? So there's like a lot of different things you can do and doesn't technically mean you need to like fix a specific thing. It can also just mean to find like, for example, like workarounds or alternative solutions, so stuff like this. It can mean a lot of things to get better. And yeah, it can mean a lot of different things. I can't change my height family that I don't have anyone. Yeah, I could find someone, but with my spiraling and the situation, I can't. That's the worst that I know how to change. My brain is splitting. I try positive. So from what I know, I need someone in my life who would help me encourage me to do the first step, go to therapy. Be way easier. But I think in a way, then like you're already on the first step, right? Because like those people, like could be us, right? Like it could be the stream who's like helping you and encouraging you to go to therapy. At least that's what we're trying to do for like most people here. And I think with like having like a hateful family and that you don't have anyone, it's like with family, like thankfully we don't need to have contact, right? We can stop having contact with our family and find new people. And we might not find sort of like a replacement for a father or something, but we might just find a really good friend, which is also sort of fulfilling the father role, or we might fulfill the father role ourselves. And we don't have anyone exactly, like you could find somebody, and even like with the spiraling, you could probably find somebody, I think. I mean, how that would turn out is a different question, right? Um, but I feel like the thing is, it's like big changes don't come overnight, right? Big changes don't come with a big step you do. Big changes come with a lot of small steps you do. No, I don't. I do know what you mean, Drago. I absolutely understand. Like a stream here, like digitally, is definitely not the same thing to IRL. So, for example, this will also never replace therapy in any way, shape, or form, because therapy in a one-on-one situation is just, and IRL is just a different thing. Um, so, but I think it can be the first step. You know, like it can be that first tiny step, which leads you to the next tiny step. So I don't know, to make this like very, very clear, the point I'm trying to make is the difference from, it's like essentially when we're talking, you say like, oh, it's impossible to me to get from here to here. Like I can't jump that high. It's like impossible, you know. But the thing I'm trying to point out is that if we build sort of stairs like this, you know, then it's going to take longer, but there's a way. Like this is essentially the point I'm trying to make. Because that big steps and big changes take a lot is completely like obvious, right? And honestly, it would be misleading to say you can like get that done in like a day, right? It would also be like so sad, no? Like you struggle with something forever and then you can get it fixed in a day. Like that would suck. That would feel so bad. Like honestly, like I'm kind of happy that like my mental health, like becoming better, was effort, because it also showed me how I didn't like fuck up before, like the entire time where I tried to fix it myself. Like I wasn't just like being lazy or something, but it was actually hard, and that's why I couldn't do it like that, you know. Um, but I did try. So it's not like there was just this like inherent just like effort gap, but it was a skill gap. And now that I got the skill, I'm able to bridge that gap. So with this sort of like step analogy, it's a thing where like I think nobody can do like a really big step just like this, you know? And I think honestly, because we expect too much from us, it's often really hard to help ourselves. Because we choose to take no step instead of a small step. But the best step you can take is the one you can take and will take, right? Mm. I mean, you know, that's fair. Like, if you don't want to try anymore, that's your life, right? But that's your choice. And it's fine to take a break in between, right? To like recharge, to then try again.